So, how many of you guys think you have self-confidence? A few. Okay. So today I want to explain to you guys why self-confidence is important. I'm going to be touching on two different things. Self-confidence allows you to believe in yourself, and self-confidence actually makes you more attractive. So when I was little, I feel like I had a lot of self-confidence growing up. I went to a private Christian school in Whittier, and not a lot of judgment was there, especially when you're young, I feel like. And I would ask my mom to buy me like the Converse that went over my knees in like the different colors, like the bright pink, the checkered. I would wear them to school, rock it. I remember one day I asked her to buy me like the arm warmers, and it was like June, and I just wanted to wear like bright colored arm warmers. My hair was huge, and I wanted to put bows in it, flowers in it, headbands, anything that would just accentuate it, because I loved it so much when I was little. And as I got older, I probably hit about middle school, and things started to change. You would hear comments from the boys saying like, what's wrong with her hair? Or did she not do her hair today? Or why is she wearing hot pink? Or the girls would say, that style is so out of fashion, or that color is so out of fashion, or why does she act like that? And I feel like your self-confidence starts to diminish, but why does that happen, to us as we get older, and what happens to, the youthful confidence that we had when we were young? And when I got to high school, I kind of kept that with me, and I was probably about 15 when I started doing makeup. And it was a whole new world for me, And I would get different girls in my chair almost every day, ranging from young to older women, like in their 90s, grandmas, great grandmas. And within 3 seconds of them being in my makeup chair, they would apologize to me. And it would either be like, I'm sorry, I'm tired today. Or I'm sorry, I broke out last week. Or I'm sorry, this is what having 6 kids looks like, And I thought to myself, why do we have to apologize for the way that we look? Or why do they feel the need to apologize to me for that as a woman? I'm another woman to woman. Like, why do you need to apologize for how we are looking, And I saw the difference as I, did makeup more between 15 to now of the different clients and who doesn't apologize to me in my chair. And I would have a lady she's probably like 87, and she's like, I look good for 87, right? And I'd be like, yeah, you do. Or the one that really got me thinking was, she came in and I could tell that she had a wig on and that something wasn't right. And she was like, I'm just really happy to be here and to be pampered today. It's been a really long week, but I'm so excited. Chemo is like just taking such a toll on me. And I was like, how does she have so much more self-confidence than us? Why do we have to be, in certain situations? Why do we have to be, older or in facing death to find our self-confidence again and to feel free and to accept, who we are? So that got me thinking. And a couple weeks ago, I was watching a TED Talk, because I like watching TED Talks. And the lady giving it, her name was Eva DeVirgils, and she's a makeup artist, and she was talking about confidence. And she also kind of explained this theory that we just start, seeing each other as competition, and we lose the sense of confidence, because competition is being cocky. Being cocky says, I'm great, and I'm better than you, and confidence says, I'm great, period. There's no comparison, and there's no sense of competition. And my next point is that self-confidence makes you more attractive. And when I say attractive, I don't necessarily mean like based on looks or how you look, makes you attractive. When I think about attractiveness, I think about what draws me to a person and what makes me feel like, somebody is confident. When I see a confident person, I feel like they're more attractive to me. Or when I see somebody who's just kind of doing what they love and they're owning who they are, and they love what they do, and they have this self-confidence about them, and it exudes in everything that they do, I feel like to me that's attractive. And that goes into all aspects of your life, into work. If you're confident in your work, then you are going to do a good job at work. Or if you're confident in your speech, you're going to do a good job with your speech. So I feel like it goes into all aspects of our life, and I feel like it's super important. And I feel like it's based on energy. Like, if you're attractive and you're confident, it's like, I want to be more like you, like whatever you're on, like I want to be on it. So I feel like that's what self-confidence is at the end of the day. And I feel like it definitely takes time and it definitely takes practice, because after years of feeling, a certain way about yourself, it's going to take years of learning to love yourself and accepting who you are. So I hope today that you guys learned a little bit about self-confidence, and that hopefully you guys can apply it to your life and become a little bit more confident in who you are. Thank you.
So Omar, some words.
As far as getting the ball rolling, you did a great job starting off. Your voice was projected very well. Everyone, I'm sure, could hear you. You gave us all equal attention. The only thing is your posture was like a little bit kicked back. Other than that, you did a great job. With breaking down your outline for your speech. How did you want it to break it down? The rhetorical question I didn't really get at the beginning, because I didn't know like how you were gonna tie it in afterwards. When I thought about it, I was like, it could have been a little bit more related to the topic. But as far as like keeping what you had to say in order, you did that very well. Just the first in the first body where you had most of your speech, there was a lot of examples from your own personal life, which is good. But maybe if you added like a little bit more from facts, or talk about some research or some studies, something like that. Overall I thought it was a pretty great speech. Just needed some more statistics and facts to back it up.
All right. Well, all the delivery things are fine. You are looking at us. You've got good eye contact. You do the confidence thing that you're talking about yourself. So I don't see anything that's problematic there. The time of the speech is maybe the one place where there's a little bit of a shortage on when it comes to delivery. That's because the content is underdeveloped. You basically have kind of a motivational speech that you're giving here. It's not really an argument that's going on. I don't understand, once again, why somebody would use an audience survey for a prepared speech where you were trying to get off on the right track, and you are kind of giving the audience a chance to step on your, opening, and it doesn't go well. I mean, there wasn't a disaster here, but it's like, well, how many of you? It just feels so uninspiring to use something like that. I think you could use one of those stories that you told as a much more effective way of pulling us in at the beginning of the speech. The idea, I know the subject matter is self-confidence, but I'm not sure that you've demonstrated that there's a lack of self-confidence that people have. You've made this assumption that somewhere between the ages of 12 and 87, we lose all of our self-confidence and we don't get it back again unless we are sick or unless we're old. And I'm not sure that that is the case. You kind of have some generic comments about people who fit into this category, or they come across in a self-confident way, but like Omar said, there's not a lot of research on this. You make one reference to the TED Talk that you heard, and it was a very brief reference. You mentioned having the resource there for you to look at and have that and I thought, oh well, she's got a whole bunch of information that she's going to present. Then you don't look at it and you don't present any of that information. So I'm not exactly sure why you thought you needed to draw attention to the piece of paper that you don't use and the information that's apparently not on there. That was a little confusing to me. Defining what self-concept is or self-confidence is and giving us a couple of examples of how it works, that's good. I still don't know what my argument is that you should be self-confident. I'm not sure there's anybody sitting in here who thought, self-confidence, that's not something I need at the beginning of the speech, and now I'm convinced that I need self-confidence. My guess is that most people would recognize self-confidence as something that's important. Why don't they have it? How do they get it? What is it that's going to make a difference in their life when they have it? That's what the content of your speech needs to be more about, and it wasn't quite there. Like I said, I think you modeled self-confidence very nicely in the presentation. All right, thank you.